Thank you, Stephen. Our next speaker is Patricia Sun. Michael used to like to tell a story of how Patricia first came to appear on New Dimensions. It seems that not long after the series began airing, one of the people involved in creating the program, I believe it was Elmer Brunsman, came to a meeting talking about a woman in Berkeley named Patricia Sun, and saying that she had to be invited to appear on the program. She makes these sounds, he said. At this point in the story, Michael would always say, so we said, she makes sounds? Well, she did, and they defied description, even for those of us who've been fortunate enough to hear them. But the New Dimensions crew was savvy enough to invite her on, and those who were present or who tuned into that first interview maintained that the program really took off when she came on. She's since returned many, many times on the radio and at live events, and has always had a special place in the roster of New Dimensions guests. As Michael said at 3 Jewels in the Lotus, it's my pleasure, it's my privilege, it's my honor to introduce Patricia Sun.
Well, the first thing, I did write a eulogy for Michael, and I have never spoken in public from something written. And I might not today either. But the thing that I want to talk about Michael was the essence of what I still feel present in this room, the essence of what Michael did and who he was and what his soul was. I felt it the very first time. It was in the early 70s, and they were doing a show about 4 hours long on KQED on healing, which is, of course, something I'm very interested in. And they didn't really know who I was. And they had many people come, and I had come early, and I sat, and I saw people come in, be on, and leave, and be on, and be leave. And I did not mind. I thought, oh, this is what nice, interesting people he has coming on. So it got to be almost midnight, and the show was just, there was the last part of it. And I came in, and the first thing I felt when I saw Michael was, oh my goodness, he's here. He knows what we're here to do. And I don't want to make it too wordy to describe it, because it was really a feeling. You know those feelings you get with certain people in life? You just know them, you like them, you trust them, you know they're there, they're home. And I felt that way about Michael, and I just followed whatever happened, and we talked. And then he said, I hear you make sounds. Now it's very interesting, I do make healing sounds, and I only once in my life have made them on the air, and that was with Michael. And it was that night, and it was a very interesting experience, because for me the sounds were kind of sacred. They opened something kind of to have reverence for. I didn't feel like I was performing or anything. And but with Michael, the very character he had through the whole 40 years of broadcasting, which in my estimation makes him far and away the most significant broadcaster of our century, without exception, because his soul was very focused on supporting us all in our nascent awareness of the new dimensions that many of us know are here and trying to be understood and felt by us all. He supported that with an unflinching, laser-like internal focus, whether it was humor or it was serious or different people from different viewpoints. It sort of didn't matter. He always made everyone, I liked what Charles said about the best. You came out your best, because he used that laser intelligence in a very humble way and gentle way to draw out what you really wanted to tell people. And so that night, when I came, And we talked, and I just thought, oh, thank goodness, somebody really good's going to help all this happen. He asked, Patricia, would you make the sounds? And I said, okay. It didn't even give a second thought. And the interesting thing was the room. Everybody sort of spontaneously got up, held hands, and made the sounds. And everybody closed their eyes. It was like a transcendent thing happened. And I've never had that caliber of authentic receptivity to ever do it on the air again. And so I always did it at the end of workshops. And I think I will do maybe 3 sounds just for us, because I believe Michael's right here. The day that he died, I woke up very early and I had a feeling about him. And I couldn't think a light went out of the world, because I feel his light is completely here, and unencumbered by many of the physical difficulties that all human beings have coming into the physical body. He's present, he's here, and I think probably almost all of us can feel that. And what I thought was that the harbinger of this next level of thinking that's being born through the whole of humanity, Michael had a soul dedication to facilitating it in the most simultaneously normal way of an interview, but simultaneously drawing out the very essential ingredients of experience, more than even information, of experience that people needed to evolve themselves. And you can't do a higher service in broadcasting than that. You cannot have a higher soul focus, I don't think, on the planet, than to be genuinely focused and concerned through everything you do, no matter what your personality is, whatever stuff you got going on in life. It still was like a laser focus of his soul, which to me is, it is a saintly state, that focus. And my maiden name was Riley, and Michael is Irish, and I'm Irish. And I remember this phrase is a book by a wonderful Irishman, John Donohoe, I think his name is, and it's called Anam Cara. And Anam Cara is Irish for soul friend. And I think we were all blessed to have a soul friend like Michael. And that's what I thought I felt immediately when I saw him. One time when we were on the air, he gave, we were talking and it was moving very positively. Everybody was calling and saying, oh, it's so great, Michael, what you say, Patricia, oh, it's so wonderful. And when we took a little pause, I said, Michael, we have to get somebody to call us who doesn't think we're so great. We need to get somebody who's going to complain a little so we can, rise to it and say something more than just, oh, we all agree. So the next call came, and this man says, I don't know about you two, you're just so optimistic. And that's what Michael did. He burst out laughing. And, we couldn't, he said, oh, so I should be sad and not optimistic? And we did patiently try to explain that it's a powerful state of mind to optimize your thought, to optimize possibility, to optimize thinking. And so I just always felt that Michael, was a special soul. He was not the normal person. And especially his focus. I can't tell you too many funny stories about Michael because we're both kind of serious people. And we both had a very serious focus all the time. And I felt comfortable with that with him, and I think he felt comfortable with me. on that, and there was a tremendous amount of respect because of that. But I do feel the most important thing to say right now is that he is present, he is here. He doesn't have encumbrance of body and worry about delivering things and raising money and making things work. And I do believe he could not help but know in his soul what a magnificent job he did. To me, it's awesome, and I don't rave about people much, and I don't make grandiose statements because they might sound good. Michael was really extraordinary, and his caring that we would all, bar none, on this planet be supported by the best minds he could find, interviewing them with the most open-hearted way he could with using all his intelligence. He focused it all the time. I just never got over how purely he did that. And there could be problems in the studio. He could be upset about something else. Didn't matter. As soon as came right back to the focus. And that's a holy thing. I think that's a holy thing. And so I guess I asked Michael last night, tell me anything you want me to say. And I think the only thing that I feel like he would like us to say is don't forget where we're going. Don't forget what we're doing. And don't forget, he's still here. He's still with you at his highest soul way beyond his personality now. And you can tap into that, and he still is serving. He's still serving. I have no doubt about that whatsoever. And even though I feel a lot of tears from the physical side of being human and feeling loss, I feel very joyful at how he feels to me now. So, Michael, we love you. Thank you so much. And I think what I'll do is just make a few sounds, like in closing, to say that frequency. And those sounds, oh dear, they kind of bring you to the place, I think, where he is. They take you to another state of mind that happens to be very healing to the body, because it helps the two hemispheres of the brain not fight each other and relax and work together. So it's a healing frequency. But I do think it is a frequency that gives us access to other dimensions. And new dimensions are what the evolutionary leap we're all involved with is starting to create. And I mean, even the unfailing perfectness of new dimensions as the name, at a time when that wasn't really as powerfully and meaningful, I think, as it is now, that there really are new dimensions that we are all becoming physically able to encompass and perceive. So what I'll do is just make a few sounds. It helps to breathe, helps to close your eyes, you don't have to. And I'll just make 3 so I won't take too much time. And I'll just leave one moment after I do that to say a few words in closing, and then I will be finished. So just remember to breathe. The presence of God vibrates within us all, forever and in every way. And it radiates from us, as us. And so gently, being aware of the room, the light, the energy, the frequencies, the goodness, the beauty of your own heart and soul, as we reach that level that touches where Michael is now. Very gently, allow yourself to open your eyes, be here, feel the presence of the room, feel your higher self fully within yourself, and know that it's always yours at any time, as is speaking to Michael, available to you anytime. Don't underestimate that. That wisdom, that power, that soft dedication is present, and it's here, and it's still for us. Thank you very much, Michael. Thank us all. Thank you.